Good afternoon. To start, break the silence.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi, Will.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Will.
Hi. So, how are we doing for numbers, Joe? Got 20. Any more?
Yeah, you are Cora. The only person that I can see that's missing that hasn't given apologies or anything is Kirsten. But
Okay. Well, I'm tempted to kick off. And Joe, have we started live streaming yet?
I don't know if Mark's Tay are on the call. I don't know if they can confirm.
Okay. And you're welcome to start live streaming now, guys. We are. Excellent. That's really good. Thank you very much. So, in which... Okay. And you'll need to put your mic off, I think, there as well. So thanks for that. Okay, everybody. Well, we're live streaming. Welcome to this extraordinary public board meeting of the Suffolk and North East Essex ICB. It is only a very restricted agenda for very obvious reasons. Therefore, is a very scheduled to be a very short meeting. So, welcome to you all. Particularly welcome to Jeff Dobson. Jeff, your first meeting as an interim non-executive member, so welcome to you specifically. I won't go round the table, Jeff. I know you'll know a number of the people, I'm sure, but all the names are there. But in the interest of time, we'll just plough on.
Thank you.
Of all, no problem. First of all, item 1, questions, notification of questions received from members of the public for response later. I know of 2 at the moment, both from Anthony Dooley. Anthony, thank you for your questions. One on running costs reductions and the impacts on population health and health improvement, and one on PFI costs and new build and historic PFI costs. What I'm going to do is take both of those questions from Anthony at the end of the meeting. I'll ask Simon to read them out in full, and then Howard will answer them. So thanks in advance for those questions and answers. And Joe, do we have any other questions from members of the public?
Not that I've received, no.
Okay, thank you very much. In which case, on to apologies. I have apologies from Fanwell Mutumbury, from Steve Feast, Susanna Howard, Frida Barty, Lisa Nobes, and Tanya Curry. Joe, you've confirmed we're quorate with those apologies. Have I missed any? Are there any others?
No.
Excellent, thank you very much. So, declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest or potential conflict of interest with any agenda item other than those of which we're aware and are on record, of course? And I don't see any hands raised, so we'll take it as no declarations of interest. In which case, on to item 4, the 2021-22 CCG's annual reports and accounts for the CCGs, which of course were our predecessors. So I'm going to go straight to Howard, all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So these are the annual reports and accounts for the three now demised CCG organisations, North East Essex, Ipswich and East and West Suffolk. And they relate to the years 21 and 22. The annual reports, accounts and letters of representation have been presented at the ICB Audit Committee on the 13th of April, where they were recommended for approval at the IC board and then subsequently approved at the private board of the ICB on the 23rd of May. So they're coming here today for the public board for noting as per normal custom and practice. Each of the three now demised CCGs delivered on their statutory duty to spend within their resources for 21-22 for both programme and administration, and they met the target for the mental health investment standard, which was confirmed at the most recent audit committee. There were three unadjusted errors to note identified by our auditors, but as these were all well within accepted levels of materiality, the audit committee supported the recommendations made not to adjust the accounts. I just wanted to bring up a couple of issues to report. The first one is that the audit should really have been completed per the national deadline of the 22nd of June 2022. So we are a year late. This is due to a couple of factors. The first one being that there wasn't an irregular payment related to an exit package, which according to our legal direction should have had Her Majesty's Treasury approval. Approval was retrospectively sought but was not given. This resulted in BDO, there are external auditors issuing a qualification of regulatory opinion, and separate Section 30 referral letters have been sent to the Secretary of State for each of the three CCGs. This was also noted as a recommendation on the value for money assessment. It's important to note, Chair, that this matter has been subject to a considerable amount of scrutiny at Audit Committee. The sums are in aggregate immaterial, and the controls have now been put in place to mitigate against the future risk of this happening again. And the second factor to note in terms of a delay was an extended period of absence from the lead auditor, for which BDO were unable to field a replacement. Those issues aside, our auditors have issued an unqualified opinion on the financial statements, so that means that in their opinion, the accounts give a true and fair view of the three CCG's financial positions for the years 21-22. And I'd probably just like to stop there, other than just taking the opportunity and thanking the ICB finance team and all those involved for their hard work and diligence in producing these sets of accounts. As I said, the board are asked to note the annual report, accounts and letters of representation. I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. So just to emphasise that we're receiving and noting these annual reports and accounts on behalf of the demised predecessor CCGs. So any questions for Howard from colleagues? And Howard, I don't see any hands raised. So I think, unless the board thinks otherwise, we're going to say received and noted. Everybody content? Great, thanks very much, everybody. Thank you, Howard, for that. And item 5, sticking with you, Howard, the ICB budgets 23-24. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So this paper is coming here today as promised following formal board approval of the ICB financial plan on the 23rd of May. Just to note that this paper doesn't change the overarching financial plan of the ICB. It's here to formally approve budget delegations to directors as well as to committees. The paper has been reviewed and approved at the ICB Executive Committee on the 5th of June, as well as the Finance Committee on the 13th of June. In the slides, there are details of the delegations, and you can also note that the approved cost improvement plans as were approved on the ICB Financial Recovery Group on the 7th of June, are also reflected as deductions against those budgets. In addition to directors' delegations, the paper also outlines delegations to committees, that's the 3 alliances, and also the Mental Health Collaborative. And finally, I just wanted to note that we're starting the process of just reviewing the scheme of reservation and delegation for our committees, and we'll bring back any amendments to this board in due course. But again, that doesn't change this particular paper. Will, I think Chair, the board is asked to approve both the director's budgetary responsibility and those of the committees, please. Thank you.
Excellent. So thank you, Howard. And yes, 2 requests for the board today to approve the proposed budgets, including director budgetary responsibility, and to approve the budgets to be delegated to committees and any relevant delegation to subgroups. So open for questions, colleagues. And again, I don't see any hands raised. I'm very conscious that this has been through the mill. Would it be fair to say, Howard, many times, and board members have seen these this material before? So we are here for formal approval today. Is the board content to resolve to approve the proposed budgets, including the director responsibilities, and to approve the budgets delegated to committees and any relevant delegation to subgroups as per the papers? All approved? Excellent. Well done. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Howard. Item 6, any other business, non-notified, and unless any hands are raised. Nick. Yes, over to you, Nick.
Thank you, Chair. I just thought it'd be an opportunity to congratulate our Chief Executive for his OBE in the King's Honours List, along with Jacob Rees-Mogg, and to congratulate you. No, I mean, Ed, absolutely fantastic news. A credit to you and to your team, and I think really puts SNI on the map. But it's your leadership of the ICB and your leadership in the system for so many years. It's great to see that that's recognised by the Honours Committee and supported. So congratulations to you, Ed. Thank you.
Nick, thank you very much for that. And I know that you're extending that very kindly on behalf of, well, yourself, of course, but all board members. Thank you very much indeed. Ed, would you like to respond? I know that you may, of course, prefer not to. You're welcome to say that. But if you'd like to say a few words.
No, it's always difficult to respond to Nick, isn't it? But no, I'm very humbled and proud by the whole honour. But this is all about teamwork, and I think it's a reflection of many years of partnership working and leadership that we've all contributed to in different ways. So thank you for all the support you've given me, and yeah, I'm just incredibly proud to have had this recognition. So thank you.
Well said, Ed. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you on behalf of all board members, and in fact to the whole team. So thank you very much for that. Any other business? Otherwise, item 7, we've reached closure. Date of the next meeting is the 25th of July in Bury. I look forward to seeing you all face to face then, but I think then at 13:14 on my clock, we can close that extraordinary meeting. Meeting closed. Thank you very much. And then,
Will, have you forgotten the public questions?
oh, sorry, I have indeed. Thank you for the prompt. You're absolutely right. I was going too fast there, wasn't I? Thank you very much for that. So questions from the public. As always, going to go to Simon to read out the 2 that we have. So over to you, Simon. And do we have Simon with us? Let me just check.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can. Yeah. Sorry, I seem to be having problems with the microphones today. But yeah, so the 2 questions come from Anthony Dooley. The first question is, given your acknowledgement of the reduction in funding allocated to the ICS from what was originally proposed and other financial reductions such as was planned to promote walking and cycling, what do you anticipate will be the impact on services within the 5 areas you claim to wish for improvements for our population? That's the first question.
Okay, and then shall we go to Howard? I think you're able to answer that one, Howard.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. So it's true that the financial position of this system is financially pressured, as is common across the whole of the NHS. However, I can confirm that none of our saving programmes are targeted at seeking reductions in health prevention spending. In fact, we've been able to secure an additional 3.9 million of funding towards with the aim of reducing health inequalities this year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And the second one, Simon?
So the second question is, could you indicate how much of the budget will go towards payments for past private finance initiatives in the current financial year, and how that compares with previous financial years? Also, if the current new build at Ipswich Hospital is being financed through a PFI arrangement, what will the cost implications be for this and future financial years? What is the cost of the new build, and what will be the actual cost at the end of the PFI term?
Okay, thank you. And Howard, over to you. And then Nick, I see your hands raised. I'll come to you after that. So Howard first.
Yep, thank you, Chair. So the SNE system has a very low current and historic utilisation of private financial investments, totaling only 1 million for a site in the Ipswich Hospital. No new build proposals in this system will be funded from PFI. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you very much. Nick.
Yeah, Howard's kind of said what I was going to say. So the only PFI that we have is the Elizabeth Anderson, which is now, I think, 12 years old. We have every year we review that in terms of value for money to see whether or not the various options in terms of buyouts or a different financing arrangement for that building is possible. And every year we come to the conclusion that it was a relatively good deal in terms of PFI, and therefore we're getting best value for money for that. And as Howard says, I can confirm that all of the new builds, both Ipswich and Colchester, 300 million over 3 years, has all been financed through Treasury and not through any PFI. Just to confirm that. I mean, I'm just kind of saying what Howard said, but just to confirm it from the horse's mouth, as it were. Thank you, Chair.
That's very helpful, Nick. Thank you very much. And Simon or Joe, and Joe, any other questions from members of the public during the meeting?
No further questions.
No. Okay. In which case, then I think at now 13:18, we can close. So meeting closed. Thanks very much, everybody. And then could I just remind board members that we have part 2 meeting scheduled for, well, at 13:45, actually. I'm tempted to stick with that time if colleagues are happy with that arrangement. With 13:45, you have to log out of this, log in and re-log in to the part 2 meeting link, which you've been sent. So with that, shall we close and see you all at 13:45? Okay. Thanks very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.